Welcome back to another edition of Futbol Mundial. Zach is at a top secret meeting today. Ooh.
Busy boy.
So that means that my non-league brother, James Wayne, has stepped into the ring.
Yep, brother from another mother.
Yep.
How you doing, Michael?
Very well. How are you?
Yeah, all right, all right.
What have we got in store today?
Well, today we have a first win for a nation.
Oof.
Yes,
Yes,
exciting.
fantastic.
A bizarre decision from one of Europe's elite young stars, and all the best from around the world. So stay tuned. So the UEFA Nations League hasn't really caught the public's imagination so far, and Jurgen Klopp can see why, labelling it the most senseless competition in world football. Bit harsh, I think.
Very harsh from Mr. Klopp there, but while he may view it as slightly pointless, for the smaller nations it is massive. A chance to get some match experience against sides they could potentially beat, rather than being relentlessly battered by the Tier 1 nations.
Yes, and that's exactly what happened this weekend in a historic win for a tiny territory of Gibraltar, who beat Armenia 1-0 away from home.
Very impressive. And why was this a landmark victory, I hear you ask? Well, this was actually the tiny rock nation's first ever competitive international win.
Yes, at the 23rd attempt, Gibraltar have finally won. Incredible scenes. They had to show a lot of patience since their introduction to FIFA in 2013, scoring only 5 goals and conceding 107 in their previous 22 games.
I mean, that is rubbish,
That is
isn't it?
ridiculous.
But somehow, against the Armenians, who boasted Mkhitaryan in their ranks, they kept their very first clean sheet, and Joseph Chipolina's second half penalty secured the team ranked 198th in the world their very first 3 points.
Yes, they were understandably delighted. Check out the celebrations at full time. Mental.
Isn't that just wonderful to see? And it's not just Gibraltar who are benefiting from this change in format. Luxembourg won their 3rd game in 4 on the weekend. Faroe Islands drew a game, which I feel like I've never seen. And Israel are top of their group.
I know.
So yeah, remember there are those 4 extra places in the Euros which will come from this.
They're even making England games exciting.
Yeah, true.
Like yesterday, it was an exciting game. We beat Spain at home. They haven't lost since 2003 at home. That's ridiculous.
Yes, it's crazy.
And we as England fans are benefiting from that. So maybe you're wrong, Klopp. Maybe it is exciting. So, you know, pipe down.
Now, there have been some truly bizarre reasons used by footballers to pull out of international duty, with Stephen Ireland attempting to use his grandmother's death, followed by his other grandmother's death, definitely taking top spot.
Yeah, but Bayer Leverkusen's 21-year-old winger Leon Bailey certainly is given the best shot to top that this weekend.
Yes, Bailey, who was linked with a call-up to the England World Cup squad just a few months ago, was due to make his senior debut for the Jamaican national team in Sunday's CONCACAF League of Nations game against Bonaire. All Titan clash.
But Bailey decided to pull out of the Reggae Boys squad at the last minute. The reason? Because he wanted to make his debut alongside his brother, Kyle Butler, and when the Jamaican FA said he had to do a trial first, he withdrew.
Yes, as pathetic as that may sound, it's totally true. Bailey threw his toys out of the pram and said they didn't keep their end of the deal. Once they were willing to do that, I'm ready to pull on the national team jersey.
But the thing is, Butler isn't even a top player. The 20-year-old currently plays for Austrian 2nd Division side FC Juniors, having transferred there from Maltese Premier League in the summer.
Somehow, I can't imagine the Torres, Hazards or Nevilles trying to pull a similar stunt with their countries. Bailey, these buck your ideas up, mate.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Totally ridiculous. But what do you guys think? Should Bailey have played despite the Jamaican FA breaking their supposed promise? Or was he right to withdraw? Vote in the poll above. Right, next up, it's Out of Our League, where we take you on a journey around the globe to cover a division you know may not know that much about.
Yes, but our trip today is not actually that far, just across the Irish Sea, in fact, because today, thanks to Joe's suggestion, I assume not Joe Tomlinson, because, you know, he only follows Man United,
Exactly.
not much else.
Yeah.
We are covering the League of Ireland.
Now, football competes for attention in Ireland with a number of different sports. Go on, name a few, Michael.
Gaelic football,
Smashed
a little
it.
bit like Aussie rules, isn't it? That's quite fun. Hurling, rugby,
Yeah, well, you had to.
as it says on the script there.
Had to stick in rugby. But despite this, the League of Ireland is well established, having been founded in 1921.
Ooh, a little bit of a history lesson for you there. The Premier Division consists of 10 teams.
Not that many.
Not that many at all. But they do play each other 4 times. So that means that they play a total of 36 games a season.
fair enough.
Otherwise, it wouldn't be very much, would it?
I
Be
mean,
very
there are a
short.
few leagues that are very, very short and pointless,
Yeah.
but fair enough. The current edition is just 4 games away from the conclusion, but Dundalk saw their record 7th title confirmed a week ago after a 1-1 draw with St Patrick Athletic. Have you heard a more Irish football name?
Don't think I have.
No.
No.
The Lily Whites now hold an unassailable 12-point lead over second place Cork City. Kieran's got the shirt for that. With 4 games left to play.
I think Cork City may still be able to win it, but maybe their goal difference is so bad that they can't bring it back. But anyway, they have been indebted to the league's standout star, 27-year-old forward Patrick Hoban, who has netted 21 league goals this season, or 27% of Dundalk's total for
Important
EMAS
man,
fan.
important man. Hoban is actually in his second spell with Dundalk, having scored 34 goals in 60 games between 2013 and 2014, but has actually struggled in his spells outside of this country.
Yeah, that's right. He's only managed to net 7 times in 75 games for the likes of Oxford United, Stevenage, Grimsby and Mansfield Town.
God, it's not
So
good reading that.
yeah, he's not even a League Two standard striker. But he's had no such issues in Ireland, finding the back of the net with 34% of his efforts this term. That is pretty amazing.
That is very, very good, to be fair. So that's the League of Ireland rundown. If you want a league covered in next week's episode, don't forget, as always, to comment below with the hashtag #OutOfYourLeague.
Yep. Next up, it's time for everyone's favourite section. Yes, that's right, it's one to watch. I don't know if it's anyone's favourite section, actually. We just always say it is. But anyway, who's under the microscope this week, Jane?
Well, McCubs, thanks to these 2 handsome chaps' suggestions, hopefully they've come up on screen, otherwise I look like a fool. We are looking at Jakob Brun Larsen.
Oh, a lovely pronunciation there,
Hopefully I got it
James.
right.
Oh, love a bit of Nordic. We wouldn't blame you for not having heard of Brun Larsen, though. After all, the 20-year-old Dane had only made 5 appearances in his entire career before this summer. 4 of those came in a loan spell with Stuttgart last season before he returned to his beloved parent club, Dortmund.
Yes, now back at Dortmund, nobody expected much of him, but in his limited minutes, Larsen has excelled. Seems like a running theme with a lot of Dortmund players, to be fair. Scoring 3 and assisting 2 in those 5 appearances.
Very impressive stuff. That means he's averaging a goal contribution every 67 minutes, which is pretty amazing for a man so young. For context, Cristiano Ronaldo, who has already been involved in 8 Serie A goals, is averaging a contribution every 94. So,
I mean, not on Jordan.
he's better than Ronaldo, basically.
Jadon Sancho and Paco Alcacer levels.
Not quite yet, but-
Not there yet. You have to be elite to get to those levels. So what's next for Brun Larsen? Well, obviously, he has to secure his place in the Dortmund starting 11, which isn't going to be easy with everyone currently on fire. And Dortmund sitting at the top of the table, pretty at the top of the table, I should say.
Very
3
pretty.
points clear. Looking sweet.
Looking very sweet, isn't it? So yeah, not really sure what he has to do, to be honest, because, like you said, they're on absolute fire. He's got a battle on his hands. But who should we cover next week? Let us know with the hashtag #OneToWatch. You know the drill.
Right, it's time for our headline story, and for this week, we have one of the craziest ones we've had in a long time.
Yes, that's right. Footballers getting into fights is nothing new, but Barca midfielder Arda Turan, currently on loan at Istanbul Başakşehir, has managed to take it to new levels by breaking the nose of a well-known Turkish pop artist called Berkay.
Doesn't happen all the time.
No.
This is why you're here. A Turkish TV station has shown footage of Turan and Berkay in a heated argument outside of a nightclub, allegedly over Turan's behaviour towards the singer's wife. Ooh, it's like the Daily Mail in here.
It is indeed. Zach reads it every day.
He does, he
He
genuinely
actually
does.
But anyway, back to the story. It's being reported that the 100-cap Turkey international then broke Berkay's nose before the pop star was rushed to hospital. But this is where it gets even weirder.
Yes, you couldn't even write this sort of nonsense because Turan then turned up at the hospital and was caught on CCTV seemingly carrying a bloody gun.
Wow.
A gun. And then told Berkay, I didn't know she was your wife. Sorry, just kill me.
Wow.
After having a conversation with somebody and then putting the gun on the table. So hopefully he was talked down.
Hopefully, yeah. But anyway, it's not totally clear what has gone on at the moment, but I'm sure the truth will come out eventually. But what is certain is that this is probably bad news for Turan, wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, just a little bit. I mean, he's already had a controversial time in Turkey, receiving a 16-game ban for shoving and verbally abusing an assistant referee in a 1-1 draw against Sivasspor, hopefully I got that right, last May. What is going on?
And what's worse, his current wife is pregnant, I think like 7 months or something. So, yeah, pretty disgraceful, to be honest. Why are you trying to mess around with other people's wives?
This is proper Jeremy Kyle.
It actually is.
This is ridiculous. Like, daytime TV snaps would love this.
But, like, it wouldn't involve a gun, probably.
No.
This involves a gun.
No.
So, yeah, anyway, let's move on.
What's happening?
So that's all we have time for on this week's Futbol Mundial. Hope you enjoyed. James, where should they go next?
We've got lots of things going on. Stat Wars, the league is currently well underway. I think you have a game later on today, I believe.
I do, and it will be out on the weekend.
Spicy. So we've got games Thursday and Saturday, so make sure you don't miss them. Am I missing anything, Michael?
No, FDFC, go and see the hashtag vlog if you haven't seen it already.
50k, baby.
Yeah, bro. Personal Masterminds as well, and our first game of the season is
coming up.
Out soon.
I'm
not sure which day exactly, but
chase my girlfriend over a game.
Bad. Didn't even come watch.
Didn't come watch.